It really was only 24 hours to get from a nose, a dash and a tail module to everything wired up with plugs ready to deliver. Here's how it went. And that's the other side done. It's so tempting to put the wings on at this point, but I want to do the wiring. It's also so tempting to put it on the car, but I might actually stop myself doing that just to wait until it's on Edwards. And it's quite a weird moment because it's pulling stuff off my car that's not going to go back. So making my car work again is going to be a job. That was shockingly easy to do. I undid the lead for that from the starter. The starter pops out the back, the earth post pops off the back. 2 bolts to get rid of the dip switch. There's the loom. that's a triumph. Yeah, so that's hard work paying off. I didn't really have confidence or know what I was doing, sort of labelling a wire earth but not where it's coming from and stupid things like that. But the hard work paying off in terms of how that was installed. So it just came out in 3 bolts. The pillar for the earth strap, just 2 bolts, off it comes. Quick connects on the batteries. So it came off in 5 minutes. Really quick. The only thing that took a little bit of time was the dip switch, because it was awkward getting to the screw heads. If they were nut and bolt, not a screw, that would have been quicker because I could have got spanners on more easily. So when that goes back on, I won't use screws. Now the task is moving to Edwards stuff. So rather than bringing the whole dashboard down, little switch panel, cut off, so much easier than having the whole dashboard. Definitely so much easier than having the whole car. Now I've got this unit, so much easier. I can come in the back and mess around with the headlights, standing up, straight back, not going to slip a disc. So it's trying to work out how much spare flex to leave for now, and then it's all going to be shortened when we get there. I was wondering, whether I might start with my nice clean piece of trailer flex. That's what the tail lights plug into. Industry standard colour codes, and whether I'll screw that to a piece of wood, and then that's the start of my switch box. And the switch box can be enormous to start with, and then I'll just make it smaller and smaller and smaller until I think that'll do, and I put a lid on and put a coat of paint on it. I've had the phone call I was waiting for, and I'm going to go Tuesday for lunch with my friends and see my godson. Yeah, the car looks finished, but the floor's not done and it's wobbly, and the stylist is done. Kind of body engineering needs to move in, so it's making some of the decisions easier. We're not going to be running it, so I've decided that I'm going to keep, but I'll take it up so he can see it, and then I'll bring it home again. And I'll buy one for him to reface, and I'll post it to him, and then that's a little project for him between that now and coming home for Christmas. So cutting it out the loom makes sense. That switch fits the dashboard, and I'm happy for him to have these switches as a piece of my car into his. So I'll chop that out. He can have that switch as well. Maybe we'll see. I haven't made a decision on the switch. Fuel pump switch he can have for now. Starter switch, they don't have a starter motor, they just do it on a handle. They can sort that out when they get there. I've got enough time to go to Halfords tomorrow and get some new leads and battery clips. It might look a mess, but it's all making sense to me, and I'm pretty confident I'll get to a switch box. I'll get to a junction box tonight, and then tomorrow, if it's making it look smart, we'll see. Maybe I have nothing left to do tomorrow. Chance to be a fine thing, but we'll see. My first trophy took about 5 minutes, all on the screwdriver. Undoing the masking tape is really easy. So the ignition switch will go back into the fuse box off the same fuse as the fuel pump, and then it'll go nowhere. So that's my starter switch out, which I can then put back on the bulkhead. That's my earth post, which I'll screw back on the bulkhead. That's my rev counter that will go up for show and tell, and then Edward will do the same. Lighting is on an enormous long one as well. Yeah, that's all to do with the layout. I had it in the car before. 5 to 10. Got the power source out, or battery charger as it used to be called. So I want to test the switch, the light switch. So I fancy using this. That one comes on for what I'm calling side light, not that one. But these come on as well. So as soon as the side lights come on, maybe that's dashboard illumination. Don't know what else comes on when the side lights come on. Not that one. That's headlights, not the side lights, but we've still got auxiliary. So if you want something to go off, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that one headlights and that one side lights, and then that's available and that's available for something else, but those are the three I need. And then I'm going to cut this switch out of the loom, because that fits nicely in the dashboard, and whisper it. I don't actually like this pull switch. I like the wire down the hole, do the screw up connection method. So I might hold on to that one. So this little cluster will go on the dashboard. So I've got the fuse box, I've got the new light switch, which I bench tested and wired up. It took 3 minutes. Horn button, fuel pump switch, which goes to a fuel pump, and the ignition switch goes nowhere. They've got a magneto, they'll sort that out. Horn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remake the horn in this green, which isn't anywhere in the loom yet. And I found my supply of cotton braided, so may as well use that. That's my fuel. That's the horn. Now test the lights. Ignition isn't going to do anything. Just go on midnight. I've been doing other things as well, so I've been in the house for quite a long time doing other things. I've made a start on switchboard, prototype switchboard, and it might be it's this size, it might be it's bigger, it might be it's smaller, but it does hold everything in neat order and it doesn't just start snaking off. The bolts on this switch are bigger than on the lead, so I've had to drill them out to nearly broken. But tomorrow I should be able to get something that just clips on the battery with that one. At the moment, I don't need big earths because it's just for lights and things. So I've got this earth block, and I'm trying to be sort of circuit diagrammy. So that's the pump. Where the live comes in, goes down, back to earth. Yeah, that's the horn. The live comes down, out on the blue, back on the brown, to earth. Those are ones which I need to connect up to the back, and I also want to use trailer flex, so there'll be another clip or two over the other side for that. That's the headlights coming in off to the dip switch here, and I've made up this from, I've got a Reliant kit and loom. I just sort of cut bits off and cleaned it, so I've got 3 to connect onto the new dip switch. I haven't worked out how everything works inside there, so I want to swap that for that and give myself plenty, so this can sit quite a long way away from the dash. This might be, his scuttle's quite long, so this might be right at the very front of the scuttle, or sort of almost on the firewall or something. I did have the lights working, but the battery charger only does 4 amps. It didn't last for very long doing headlamps. I need to hook a battery up now. I must say, this is quite spooky, having a car overlooking the workbench. This new switch is working nicely. And battery cut off. All gone. So it's coming together well. So I'm going to get the new dip switch on next, I think, and then I'll start worrying about the backlights. The new dip switch works pretty obvious way. So it goes in the middle and then out to either side. It's flipping it left and right. You know, I've changed a lot of things. You know, I've changed colours of wire and lengths, and I've changed that switch. And it's just so easy when it's all on a bench. You know it's a late one when Sailing By starts playing on the radio. So that's what Radio 4 says goodnight with, and then flips over to World Service. But I haven't heard that in a while. So I'm doing another of these trailer flex type things, but this time for the front. Comes in, splits 6 ways. There's one I'm not using, which is the brake light. Fog now goes to the horn on a short one. That goes to one side light, then I've got a longer one to go all the way around to the other side for the other. So the next step is to take my front light, then cut it across to either the two together, which the two together makes sense. I should just twist them together and put them in together. I think that's what I need to do now. But I am very pleased with this. It's kind of what you do when you prototype things. Might get shrunk down, might be fine as is. But I've got the side lights coming in red that I then split into the black and brown, which is trailer flex colour code. Goes off to the front side lights and then it jumps to the rear side lights. So I can put a probe in anywhere on those, because you can just stick a probe on top of the screw and that works. And what's nice with these sockets is because it's the same socket, I've been able to test the back circuit with just these front lights. So I'm going to have to go and get the tail lights to test it. So that's really nice that I've been able to prove that. Yeah, it's tidying up a little bit as well. Bit of labelling on my dip switch and things. Yeah, so I'm very pleased with that progress and delighted to be doing electrics as a bench top exercise. And then I haven't done much else today, so it has soaked up a lot of time. But I'm pleased with it. Could be shrunk down, but it might be that they've got space just to have it in this form. It's nice seeing just kind of one bundle heading out towards the dashboard, and that's the sub dash. I've got my trailer sockets, got a tail post, and I've left a lot of stuff open just to do a bit of show and tell. So it's like a lawnmower lead. It's kind of the one dangerous thing is that someone might be stupid enough to plug the headlights in. So it's kind of one bundle heading in that direction, which is nice. Then I've got 2 sockets hanging off. That's just the earth coming in, brake switch going off, pump going off. So it's relatively small number of interfaces. The whole front end is on these 2 wires, which is one plug. The back end, including the tail post, is all on 1 plug. Kind of butchered the grommet to make that work. And I'm doing a similar sort of thing here. That block is 20mm diameter. This is 25, which lets me get a lot of stuff coming in. So I've got side lights and headlights and the horn, and then from the other side of the car I've got side lights and headlights, and then going out the back is both the trailer socket and that 3-pin socket. I haven't got the 25mm grommets. Again, I don't think it'll be the worst feature on the car. What I am itching to do in terms of tidying up is do the finger of a glove trick. So just to try and fold that around, get it tidy, and then tuck it down, kind of a black rubbery finger. And Edward's very visual, so I don't really want that to draw the eye when looking at everything else. Nice clack switch for that one. Indicators are fun. It's a flasher unit that was in with all of the Reliant kit and bits. I wanted to leave everything open for as long as possible, like that, for things to get shortened. It's got to be fitted to the car, and the car isn't finished yet. So it's really been an art project for Edward rather than a DT project or let alone an engineering project. So things like the floor isn't in properly and it's a bit flimsy and hasn't really worked out how the scuttle fits and making sure the bonnet is secure. They're not just resting there. So there's quite a bit more to do, but at least this is done and it will go in and come out very easily. So I've got the headlight plug sorted now, and that packs in quite neatly. I don't know why I was worried about wanting it all on one strip. Dip. I think I just pop that lid on and I'm finished. If in doubt, make it black, and the junction box kind of disappears being black. So that's a lot tidier than it was when there's sort of white plasticky stuff just hanging out. So I'm going to call that finished. Much as I'd like to make this smaller and paint it orange and put it in a box, I think that'll do for today, on the electric certainly. I'm off for a walk to get battery terminals and a nice earth lead, so that's my big chunky earth lead, and I'd just get him a new Halfords one and proper battery terminals rather than just crop clips. I think.
Quite shorter than your car.
Are you filming?
This is much longer than the other car, Dad.
Plenty of legroom, eh?
Yeah. What are you doing, Dad?
Putting the headlights on.
Is that recording?
Yeah.
Dad. Just take it, Billy. Just take it.
Oh, I feel like he's zooming.
So what you need to do, you need to lick one finger, put it there, lick another finger, put it there, and you'll get
Don't
some
do that.
taps.
Don't do that. Still filming.
Yes, he is still filming.